So I'm back out in the garage tonight, and I really wasn't planning on doing any filming. I was just kind of doing some some shop cleanup. I was going through some parts, back here. Just kind of getting myself set up. Was planning on putting something together and doing a video later this week yet, but I thought I would just kind of do a little update on some of the stuff I've been looking for and what I've been finding before I get into like the technical video that I wanted to kind of do. But I'm going to show you what I've been kind of doing here, and this is kind of like just a heads up video if you're working on stuff, and why you should always inspect things after you've had any kind of mechanical failure. You got to go through everything. I'll show you why. So I was just kind of going through the cylinder head here, and where we had left off with this was I just finished doing assembly, but I still needed to go through and get all my valve buckets figured out, because I actually had 4 busted buckets. So I had to go through all of my spare parts here, and this is why, like, if you see somebody selling a junk cylinder head for like a couple $100 or whatever, $100, $50, whatever, or they're throwing it away, it's not always a bad idea to grab that, and you end up with just a bunch of extra parts that you're probably going to need at some point. Like, I don't know, a bunch of buckets because you broke some. But I keep 1,000, some booster buckets, some stock spring seats and retainers, just because I do work on other people's stuff, and sometimes you need a spare part. Bunch of keepers. But that aside, I was going through getting all my buckets squared away and inspecting them. And I'm going to show you why you should always inspect them, because on top of the 4 that I had completely destroyed on the intake side when this all happened, these 4 here I found kind of in my mix of parts I've been kind of going through, cleaning and sorting. This is why you should look for stuff after you've had any kind of just catastrophic failure. But I'm going to try real hard to show this here. All 4 of these have what I'm going to show you here. Let's see which one looks the worst. This one might be the easiest to see. You see what I got circled there? The glare might be picking it up. There's an impression right in the center of that bucket. And these all have an impression that I circled. You see those marks? That tells me that when this thing kind of had its failure and I whacked all the valves, those valves come up, they push up on the valve train, and they actually left the impression of wherever the cam was in its rotation dimpled into those buckets. Now, if you weren't looking close enough, and you didn't see that, and you went to reuse these, there's a chance these things are like, forgive me if I don't know the exact material, I just haven't looked into it. They're basically some kind of like a tool steel, which is strong, but it can be somewhat brittle. I wouldn't be surprised if I looked closer that these might be cracked. And what would happen is if you didn't catch that, and you put your motor back together, these things spin at some incredible RPM, and the cam lobes, as they rotate around and knock the valves open, odds are good these would have broke and I would have had another major failure. So you just got to look for stuff like that. Like, this thing came apart for a reason. There was interference, like shit went wrong. And this is just another example of why you have to touch every nut and bolt, and then this is what they should look like. Nothing. And that's why I keep spares. So I'm going to keep kind of tinkering away here, but there'll be another video coming. I'm going to show how I set my valve lash. I've already been taking notes, and I got all my shims and everything out. While we're at it, another good reason of why you should probably pick up a spare header once in a while. Valve shims. You can never have enough valve shims. But for now, this is just going to be a little quick video here on why you should inspect stuff. So we'll see you soon when I get around to wrapping that up.